When you take up the task of teaching vocabulary, remember not to assume that students come to us knowing word meanings and usage, because, to be quite honest, this may not be the case. They will need a foundation for words in order to be successful in the classroom. Vocabulary exposure should be scaffolded. Consider limiting vocabulary study to no more than 5 words per week, which will result in 20 words per month. By focusing on a small group of words each week, teachers will be able to explicitly teach word meaning and word usage in context, rather than overwhelming students with a slew of words that they will never fully understand. Let's look at some different ways vocabulary can be taught, including word walls, word maps, flashcards, and vocabulary bingo. A word wall is a group of words displayed, usually literally, on a wall. These can range from simple words taped to any wall of the classroom to more elaborate alphabetized systems where words are color-coded. How a word wall is displayed is generally up to the teacher, but they can be organized in a number of ways, such as alphabetically, based on a theme or unit, according to parts of speech, like nouns or verbs. For example, a parts of speech word wall may have a noun section with the word nouns printed on a piece of cardstock. Under the nouns section could be words like girl, school, house, and car. The verb section may include words like run, jump, think, and breathe. Theme-based ideas like a popcorn word wall where the words are on cards shaped like pieces of popcorn, or individual word walls for each student, elementary level, are creative ways to get students interested in learning vocabulary. However featured, the word wall is the perfect opportunity to present everything from basic sight words to content-related terms that students need to know for grade-level proficiency. With a word wall, the teacher would teach the words first. For example, say students are reading about plants and the word photosynthesis is one of the vocabulary words in the text. The teacher may define the word or have the students look up the word themselves. Now, once there is a definition and its importance to the text is discussed explicitly, the teacher would write the word photosynthesis on a note card and add it to the vocabulary word wall. The teacher will add words throughout the year and frequently revisit them, weekly, semi-monthly, monthly, to make sure students have a firm understanding of each word. This allows students to actually build their vocabulary as the teacher uses the wall to teach and reteach words and concepts. A word map is a graphic organizer that allows vocabulary to be scaffolded or broken down into smaller chunks to support student comprehension of the words. Typically, vocabulary used to complete the word map is unfamiliar and requires explicit instruction on the part of the teacher. For example, a teacher might break down the word monologue using the word map by defining the word, using the word in a sentence, finding synonyms or antonyms of the word, and finally, have students draw a picture of the word. Word maps are great for the explicit teaching of vocabulary concepts in any subject area. Flashcards are cards with a vocabulary word on one side and the definition on the opposite side. These can be used to help students memorize important vocabulary words. Students can create flashcards with one word and definition per card using index cards or cardstock. Once completed, students can add color or add a funky design to personalize their collection. They may even laminate their cards in order to preserve them so that the cards last longer. As they transition from one grade to the next, students can add words as necessary in order to continue to build their vocabulary. Vocabulary bingo gives students a creative way to study new words and word meanings. With traditional bingo, students would listen for a corresponding letter, B, I, N, G, or O, and a number. However, with vocabulary bingo, there are 2 options for creating the bingo cards. One way is for teachers to put definitions on the cards and call out the corresponding word. Another way is for the actual vocabulary words to be printed on the cards, and the teacher calls out corresponding definitions. Not only is this an excellent teaching strategy, but it can also be used to assess whether the students know the definitions. It can be used to support vocabulary building by reaffirming words and concepts that the students have been studying in class. When used in conjunction with other strategies, like the word wall or flashcards, the bingo activity continues to give students repeated exposure to the vocabulary words. While teaching vocabulary is important, it does not have to be boring. There are several creative ways for students to have explicit, repeated exposure to words, including word wall, display groups of words on a wall either alphabetically, based on a theme or unit, or according to parts of speech. A word map, define the word, use it in a sentence, Find synonyms and antonyms of it and have students draw a picture of the word. Flashcards. Write a vocabulary word on one side and the definition on the opposite side. Vocabulary bingo. Put definitions on cards and call out the corresponding word or vice versa. When students are repeatedly exposed to and supported in their vocabulary, it allows them to become proficient in their understanding and use of words. It also builds their vocabulary skills, which will benefit them as readers in all subject areas.